Welcome to this Sacral Chakra Yin Yoga. No props are necessary for this flow. However, I will be using a block and a strap. As always, thank you for flowing with me. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hey there, let's get started in a seated position for a quick meditation. I'm sitting on a block here. Once you find your comfortable seat, go ahead and close down the eyes. Taking a deep breath in through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And as you inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth, allow your muscles to soften and your body to relax. Start bringing your attention to the area below your navel. This is where your sacral chakra is located. Imagine a warm orange light glowing in this area, growing brighter with each breath you take. As you inhale, visualize this orange light expanding and filling your entire lower abdomen. Feel a sense of creativity, passion, and emotional balance flowing through this chakra. Repeating these affirmations with me out loud or in your head. I am creative. I am emotionally balanced. I am in touch with my feelings. I am creative. I am emotionally balanced. I am in touch with my feelings. Slowly start bringing your awareness back to your body by dipping your chin, rubbing your hands together, then placing them over your eyes. Taking in this relaxing meditation. Slowly start opening your eyes and taking in the room. Taking your time to make your way into a seated position where we'll meet for our first pose, which will be butterfly. Your soles of your feet together and using your hands to pull your heels closer to your groin, extending through the crown of the head as you fold forward from the hips, allowing the gravity to take over, going to where you find the most resistance and staying there. Your hands can either be out in front of you or clasping your feet like I like to, going to where your body feels the most resistance. That doesn't mean you have to stay here. As you are in the pose, listening for any invitations to go deeper. In this yin practice today, I really want to focus on feeling our bodies. I am a guide and I can guide you into the pose, but this is your practice. Everyone's body is different. It looks different. So getting yourself into the pose as comfortably as you can, filling any gaps that you might need with any blankets or blocks. And once you get into your most comfortable position, hold the pose. All of these poses in the sequence are focusing around the sacral chakra, which is located just below the navel. The sacral chakra is associated with emotions, creativity, sensuality, and passion. It is the center of your feeling and desire and pleasures. So in this yin practice today, I really want you to connect with feeling your body. Slowly start coming out of the pose now, bringing your hands to your knees and bringing them together, straightening out the leg for a quick reset. I like to bring my hands behind me and open up my chest in a baby back bend, really opening up through the shoulders and the neck. Start making your way over to a tabletop position where we will set up for our next pose, which is half frog on the right side. I like to use a blanket under my leg. So go ahead and come to a tabletop position and lower yourself down to your belly, your right knee, and bring it out to the side. You want to aim to bring your right heel towards your right hip, keeping the left leg extended straight behind you. You can either rest your forehead on your palms, or if you want more of a back bend, you can press into your forearms to lift your upper body off the mat. This is a nice time to also put the blanket under the leg for more support. Taking the first 30 seconds of the pose to get settled in, move around, feel your body. Remembering we do not want to feel any numbness, tingling, or pain. How do you tell if your sacral chakra is balanced? Well, you'll experience a healthy emotional expression, creativity, and the ability to enjoy life's pleasure. You'll also feel emotionally stable, and you'll have a strong sense of self-worth. If chanting is in your practice, the chant associated with the sacral chakra is VAM. Feel free to repeat that out loud or to yourself as you hold the pose. Reverse out of the pose slowly now. Moving any props out of the way. I like to give myself a full body stretch here before moving off to the left side. Setting up the same way we did with the left side, you can move your blanket, if you're using a blanket, over to the left side and coming down on your belly, bringing the left knee out to the side and bringing the left heel towards your left hip. Your right leg is extended now. Relaxing your head, neck, and shoulders. Breathing deeply as you hold the pose. Now that we know what a balanced sacral chakra looks like, what does a imbalanced chakra look like? Well, it can manifest as emotional instability, also causing issues with self-esteem, lack of creativity, or difficulty in forming and maintaining relationships. So scanning through your current situations, notice if you have any of these symptoms of your sacral chakra being imbalanced. I think most of us can say that we have at least one. If you notice any of these imbalances, don't judge it, just recognize it. And feel free to repeat the affirmation as you hold the pose. I am in touch with my feelings. Reversing out of the pose, moving any props out of the way, taking a full body stretch. Pressing up and taking a quick child's pose as you shift your hips back to your heels. Hang out here for a few breaths. out of the pose, moving into a seated position as we move into our next pose, which is straddle. So for this pose, you don't need any props, but I will be using 2 blocks and a blanket. I'll go ahead and set you up without props, extending the legs out to the side, walking your hands out till you find the most resistance. This is where I will bring in the 2 blocks and a blanket, bringing the floor closer to me so I can really get into the pose, stacking the 2 blocks and placing the blanket on top of the blocks, resting my hands and head on the blanket. This might take a few seconds to get into your most comfortable pose, but once you've found that you are the most comfortable, hold the pose. The sacral chakra is connected to the reproductive and sexual organs, as well as the lower back, hips, and pelvis. Straddle pose is great to help alignment in these areas. Remembering while in this pose not to worry about what it looks like, but more on how it feels. Hold the pose. Start coming out of the pose now, taking your time. Go ahead and move any props out of the way that you've used. Bringing your knees in towards your chest and giving yourself a hug for a quick reset before we move off to our next pose, which is Happy Baby. Finding your way onto your back. For this pose, I will show you how to set it up without a strap and then with a strap. So if you have that, go ahead and place it close by. Coming onto your backs, bringing the knees in towards the chest now. You can either grab the big toes or the sides of the feet, but being mindful that you want to keep your lower back on the ground. So if you grab the sides of your feet or your big toe and your lower back comes off the ground, then you're not doing the pose right. So if that's you, grab the ankles. And if your lower back still comes off after grabbing the ankles, try using a strap, wrapping the strap around each foot and pulling your feet upwards. And so you might start off here because your lower back came off the ground. But remember, as you're in these poses, listening to our bodies and listening for any invitations to go deeper. So you could start here, and as your body starts opening up, possibly grabbing the ankles, or if you have a hold of your ankles, listening for an invitation to grab the sides of your feet or your big toe. Again, in this flow, we want to really focus on listening to our bodies. Sacral chakra can be impacted by the energetic baggage we carry over from our root chakra, which can prevent us from feeling safe and experiencing joy. Happy Baby is a great pose for the sacral chakra. It reminds us to stay playful. So ask yourself in this sacral chakra reflection question, are you giving yourself free time to do fun things? As you hold this pose, possibly bringing in the affirmations, I feel pleasure every day. I am passionate about life. I am playful. I am joyful. Hold the pose. Reverse out of the pose slowly, taking your time, bringing the feet to the mat, and it feels nice to windshield wiper the legs slowly, being mindful as you do it, hanging out in any spots that feel tight. So for our next pose, we're going to come into a sleeping swan. However, we're also going to turn it into a spinal twist. So when you're ready, go ahead and place your feet on the mat, bringing the left foot over the right knee and resting your left ankle just above the right knee, flexing the foot. You can stay here or you can drop your foot off to the right. You can stay here, or if you want a little more, pressing into the knee to bring the foot up. So it's as if you're in a pigeon pose, only laying on your back. Try it out, and remember, if you feel any numbness, tingling, or pain, you'll want to come out of the pose, possibly just staying with Sleeping Swan, or if you stick with Sleeping Swan, as you're in the pose and you open up, possibly trying the spinal twist. Hands can be overhead or to a T, whatever feels comfortable for you. Because this chakra is responsible for our sexual energy center, it tends to get blocked often because in life we're shamed for expressing our sexuality, especially women. We're taught not to act that way. So as you hold this pose, I really want you to think, do you feel sensual? Do you allow yourself to feel that way? Are you comfortable with your sexuality? Are you comfortable expressing that side of yourself? And as you hold the pose, great affirmations for this would be, my sexuality is sacred. I honor and enjoy my body. I feel pleasure every day. Mindfully come out of the pose as we move into the next side. So now bring your right foot over your left knee and rest your right ankle just above the left knee. Dropping the foot to the floor, pressing the knee into the ankle as you move the leg up. Hold the pose. Coming out of the pose now as we set up for our final pose, which is Shavasana. So whatever your Shavasana looks like for you, grabbing any props that you need to bring yourself to your most comfortable state. I'm going to utilize my blanket and my blocks, bringing the blanket behind my head and placing a block under each foot. So once you have arrived into your pose, go ahead and close down your eyes. And if you are on your back, go ahead and roll your shoulders under to really open the chest. Hands can be up to receive or down to ground, allowing deep relaxation to flow over your body, soaking in this relaxing practice, softening the space between your eyebrows and the corners of your eyes, relaxing the cheeks and the jaw, feeling that relaxation float down to your shoulders. Feel it flow down both arms to the fingertips, relaxing the back body into the mat as you soften the front body, feeling softening in the pelvis and the hips as you relax the thighs, the calves, ankles, and toes. Repeating with me out loud or in your head, I honor and enjoy my body. My body is sacred and I cherish it. I know I deserve to experience pleasure and I take pleasure in all of life. Shavasana. Slowly start bringing the awareness back to the body by wiggling the fingers and toes, possibly taking a full body stretch before we meet on our favorite side. And as you hang out here, I want you to think today, how can you be more playful and more in tune with how you feel in your body? Pressing up into a seated position, eyes remain closed as we take one final breath together to close out our practice. Inhaling as you bring the arms up overhead, palms meet. Exhale as you bring your hands down through heart center. I want to thank you for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining me in this Sacral Chakra Yin Flow. If you like this kind of content, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. By doing that, it helps my channel be able to bring you free yoga content each month. I hope you all have a wonderful week.